Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not prepared. Intro.
Shit, I forgot ice.
Don't talk over the intro, bro. I can't separate you guys' sound.
We don't have multi-channel recording.
On the gosh darn Benzo Rehab dungeon.
What kind of fam podcast am I part of?
I have multi-channel recording, but you guys come through on the same channel because you're all online to me.
I mean, we are extremely online.
Cool. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Benzo Rehab Dungeon, episode 87, where the intro gets worse every time we do it.
Or better.
I'm your host, Michael Deebs. Joining me, as always, is the gray square with the name Dorian.
Oh shit! God damn it. Now everyone knows.
Yeah. Big reveal. Danko Suvin is actually Dorian.
Dorian.
From the Instagram handle at DankDeLuz. Also joining us, as always, John, the producer, from the Instagram handle at Who Cares. He's never posted anything, even though I keep nagging him to do it.
Also, what the fuck does discopathic really mean?
Yeah, John, explain yourself.
Like,
I remember I thought it was something clever when I just came up with it on the spot. It is a pun that I'm gonna have to think about to remember.
Oh,
yeah,
one of those things. Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
good. That's
well,
good.
John, how are you doing?
I'm great. Even though I can't remember how I come up with names ever. I do feel better about myself because at least I don't have raccoons and rats living in my drop ceiling.
That's true, which
I do.
Danko cannot say for himself.
Yeah.
Old-timey drop ceiling.
I got this nice big old apartment, and it's got spooky asbestos-filled, dead people-filled drop ceilings in 2 rooms.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, asbestos is only dangerous if like something disturbs the asbestos, like say a raccoon or a rat or something. So
or me, because I'm hungry because I keep forgetting to buy groceries.
Yeah,
you keep licking the walls because the lead tastes nice, and you're also getting the asbestos.
Also, imagine how much worse this would sound if I didn't actually have drop ceiling tiles.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be horrific. I would boot you from the podcast until you did something about it.
We care a lot about audio quality here. Because not only is everything made of wood here, the walls aren't even like standard drywall. It's like lath plaster. It's old shit. And so it's all, I live in in summer it'll be a pizza oven. Yeah. It's everything here is hard and echoey, except for me. I'm soft and echoey.
No.
I'm a little
dampening,
echoey.
Soft and dampening. Yeah.
I am soft and damp.
Just trying to think of the opposite of hard and echoey, and that's probably
the girls love a moist boy.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Nobody's asked, but I'm doing good.
You didn't ask me how I am, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought I did.
No. And usually,
oh, Danko, how are you doing, brother? Al?
I mean, does it even matter how I'm doing?
Probably not.
Point? Like the way that you've been treating me? You know? I feel like you want me to be bad. As in feel bad, but also be bad.
Ooh.
You're trying to make me be a bad boy.
This has turned into like a kink thing now.
Anyway, I'm doing fine. I made myself an old-fashioned, which is made of nothing that an old-fashioned is made of.
Yeah.
Except there is water in there.
Oh.
There is water and sugar. So those things would make a simple syrup in the right context.
But you didn't make the simple syrup. You just
put
water, sugar, and what?
Which actually worked pretty well.
Whiskey
with the alcohol, actually. Yeah, I didn't have any bitters, so I just had to skip that. I didn't have any orange, so I put a lemon in there. I didn't have any rye or bourbon, so I used this Glenlivet double oaked.
Oh, yeah. So not an old fashioned like.
And I used brown sugar and water.
Well, you got to give it the color.
Wow. Yeah,
it's not too bad.
Well, like, yeah,
I mean, it's
sugar and booze.
Sugar and booze. Yeah. But that's what happens when you. I mean, I already left the house once today.
Yeah, can't leave it again.
So I'm not going to do it again.
Right.
And here's, because I know what we're going to be talking about today, though this probably would have been more important last week. But a fun fact about Wisconsin. I'll learn the accent eventually. It's what everyone wants. Everyone wants to have a Wisconsin accent.
We want you to misappropriate Midwestern culture.
Yeah. But yeah, here apparently you can't buy liquor past 9 p.m.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. There's lots of states that do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of Texas is like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I expected it from you people.
It's been a while since I've been to Washington, but if I recall correctly, that was that way in Washington as well.
Yeah, you guys are forgetting a really important fact here, though, right? Because Washington, sure, people drink there. Yeah, Texas, people drink in Texas. It's Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. It's where you're Wisconsin. Expected to drink.
Yeah, and I mean they sell beer until midnight or 1 or something, but. Which I guess is the important stuff, like that's the water of life. It's not necessarily liquor.
Yeah. Because, do you think that maybe the big beer business has conspired against the liquor industry?
Well, I will say that
maybe some investigative journalism.
There's definitely a reason that weed and kratom are illegal here. And it's because beer.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. But I had another. Oh yeah, Wisconsin or Milwaukee old fashioned is apparently made with brandy, and I think that might be part of it because brandy lower alcohol. And you can probably buy it a lot later. I don't know because I don't really buy brandy unless I'm cooking. So I should get some Henny.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
How are you, Mike? I have some news to share with everyone.
How are you, Mike?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I have some news to share with everyone. They rebooted Walker Texas Ranger. Yeah, that's a hard one to suck down, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'll spit your drink out. I'll get you one of these days. Yeah, I didn't know about this, but apparently sometime last year they rebooted Walker Texas Ranger. It just goes by the name Walker now.
Oh.
Does anybody know Jared Padalecki?
No.
Has anyone ever watched Supernatural?
I've been sent clips.
So the tall brother of the two is Jared Padalecki.
Which one? I know what their faces look. I don't know how tall they are.
Oh, whatever, man.
He's like a small giant.
Too bad we don't have a producer that can look this up for us.
Oh my god!
Literally sitting on the Google homepage.
Yeah, this guy. I think he lives in Austin. What's his name again?
Jared
Padalecki.
Jared
Pada.
There it is.
It's already there.
God, what a fucking. Yeah, this guy.
Oh, the long-looking one. That would explain
the tall one, like I said.
Yeah. Well, he just looks long. He could be a twink. He could be a little guy.
He's actually pretty big. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, it said he was 6'4" on the sidebar there. So, anyways, he's now Cordell Walker, former United States Marine turned Texas Ranger.
Okay. I could kind of see it. He's not Chuck Norris, but
so yeah. Instead of like because Walker, Texas Ranger, the original, he's raised by like his uncle or something like that, and then also has like this Native American mentor, which is where they got like a bunch of like the fucking like, oh, you must learn to trust your spirit. So I'm allowed to do that voice, by the way, guys.
Tonto teaching him to listen to the ground.
So this is like a weird mix between a gritty reboot and like a family drama sort of
Is it wokeified? Like, did they remove
Yes, that's what I was gonna get into. So so it's a gritty reboot where
he's not wearing boob armor anymore.
His wife gets killed, and then he doesn't know what to do with himself, so he throws himself into work and goes on this undercover mission for like 10 months while his 2 kids are like, we don't know where you went, Dad. Why did you abandon us? So he comes back, and the family drama is like, you were gone for so long, Paul, sort of stuff. And
men only have 2 ways out of depression. One of them is abandoning their children, and the other one is dedicating themselves to work. So I mean, he did both. He's covering it all.
So I found out about this like literally I would say 2 hours before we started recording, and I watched 2 episodes of it. No. Well, I mean, kind of planned, but I found out about this 2 hours before we started recording, and I watched 2 episodes of it, and already there's like hints that maybe the daughter has a relationship with a girl that's turning into something a little bit more than friends. There's already like the grandpa. The daughter is kind of getting herself into trouble, and the grandpa's like, oh, she's off hanging around with that Mexican girl, and the son corrects him, and he's like, Grandpa, Mexican American. Right? Like instead of Mexican girl, it's Mexican American girl.
Is that
Grandpa?
Do you know anyone that would do that?
No,
because I know people that will say Mexican, and then I know people that will say Mexican in a mean tone.
Right.
Well, it's about like the tone. Yeah. Like
No, it was just funny that
I have a black neighbor.
Right. Yeah, so it's just funny that correction was made. Like, no, it's Mexican American, which is like its own weird thing, because it's like, I mean, do we need to classify them as Mexican Americans because Mexicans are from the Americas?
How funny and racist would it be, though, for someone to be like, that I don't want the African kid around anymore? Then you would have to correct them, African American.
Yeah, exactly.
but that's the thing that makes it also absurd, is because like you wouldn't correct them like that, because they would have just said something really, really offensive and weird.
Right.
So you would be like, oh, technically you're wrong.
Yeah. So like it's woke in like the weirdest, wrongest ways.
Like it's so TV woke. Yeah.
Yeah, and Walker's new partner is the first POC woman Texas Ranger.
What kind of C is she?
Like
she's her name is Ramirez, so she goes by Ranger Ramirez, which is like already fucking annoying to hear every time somebody. Because everyone in Texas, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, John, everyone in Texas, whenever a Texas Ranger walks up to them, they act very very respectful and like, oh, Ranger Walker, Ranger Ramirez, great to see you.
They straighten their bolo tie.
That is not what the Texas Rangers are like at all. You probably wouldn't actually know you're talking to one.
Yeah, because
they're the Texas Feds.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They'd start telling you about Mark Fisher.
Yeah, like they wear polo shirts and they look like office workers and shit.
So the news that I have to give based off of this is that I am going to hate watch all, I think, 20 something episodes and give a full report next week.
I'd actually be interested in watching that too.
Okay.
If we schedule, because I actually tangentially know somebody in the show and have been meaning to watch it.
Oh, All right. Well, look at Mr. Showbiz over here.
Do you know Jared Putapusky?
No, not at all. Although
you guys used to date or fuck or something?
No, but a lot of people in Austin have met him. Like, it
I'm
wouldn't
sure.
be that weird too, actually. But I haven't. I don't know. Haven't been at the same restaurant he frequents at the same time.
You know what all this reminds me of? Y'all ever watch the show Justified? I think it got canceled a while back, but it's been years.
It rings some bells, but I don't like explicitly remember it.
Timothy Oliphant is essentially Walker, Texas Ranger, and he's such a weird actor to me because he's not good at acting, but also he's kind of good at acting. Like, there's just something about Timothy.
John just looked up Timothy.
I forgot.
Google, show me guy's name Timothy.
Where's Timothy? So yeah, he's not a bad actor either. He's a weird, confusing thing where sometimes he's convincing, but usually he's just kind of like, oh, what is he doing with his face?
Yeah.
Which is usually not much, actually.
Like, he was really good in The Iceman because the Iceman is a sociopath that doesn't know what to do with his face.
Wait, was that him? I haven't seen this yet.
It was him.
Okay.
He was really good in that, but he also sometimes I've seen him in movies, like I would mistake him for a B-list actor or whatever. Barely outside of porn or something.
I think he was at one point, and he's just kind of risen through the ranks.
He was really good in The Iceman.
Show.
Yeah,
he was really good in The Iceman because The Iceman is like a socially disconnected person who likes killing, and so he doesn't like have normal facial expressions or reactions or anything like that.
Who was that actor that played Gomer Pyle, and also he was on that sex crime show?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, what do you call it?
Let's see.
Sex crime show guy.
He was on that rape show.
Oh god, do I need to turn off the stream for a sec?
He wasn't Gomer Pyle, but he
wasn't in SVU. He was in Special Crimes or something.
Right? I don't know. They're all bad except for the boring original one. What is his name?
He also played he plays Kingpin in the Punisher series.
Yeah, he was like he was
Vincent
the best
D'Onofrio.
thing about that show.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
It became boring.
I feel similarly to, and also the opposite, where that guy is a bad actor.
Yes,
and he's a really good actor, and he's never been convincing in any way, shape, or form because he's so extreme about everything.
Yeah,
he's just he has the Nicolas Cage disease, but he doesn't have that Nicolas Cage face that just allows him to be like, I don't know, anything he wants to be, which is always a psycho, but whatever.
Like Nicolas Cage is always playing Nicolas Cage. I don't know if that actor is always playing him like self. Like that's what it seems like when I watch a Nicolas Cage movie. So.
Vincent D'Onofrio plays a weird growling sound that a kid, like a weird edgy kid, makes before killing himself, and you think it's a joke.
Still think it's a joke.
That's what Vincent D'Onofrio is. Yeah.
Even after he's done, I'm like, I think he's still kidding. I don't know.
This is a goddamn goof. But anyway, Justified. It also had the someone that I love him, and I just forgot his name. He has fake teeth in his face. But anyway, this is a weird way of defining people.
Yeah.
Just look for fake teeth.
Fake teeth actor.
I know how to do searches, man.
I don't know about that. You looked up Timothy earlier.
I didn't arrow down one time.
Apparently fake teeth is all of them.
That show, pretty good.
This guy's teeth are obviously different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
They got them rich people teeth.
That's I think a soccer player.
I always want to call him Waylon Jennings, even though that's the musician.
Yeah.
You guys might get it if I find him. Anyway, that was like what Walker Texas Ranger would be if it wasn't
shitty.
bad.
Yeah.
Walton Goggins.
Oh,
I fucking love that guy. That guy is.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's got the fakest teeth. He also has all the teeth.
John, quit looking at celebrity teeth and look up Walton Goggins.
Yeah,
Walton.
And look at his teeth, because he again has all of the teeth.
Oh, Walton Goggins' teeth comes up as like one of the first results. Yeah.
He has every tooth.
Oh yeah, no, that guy's got way too many teeth, man.
Yeah. Apparently, he got like the first row of his, or the first row, like he's a shark.
What species is Walter Goggins?
But he got the top row of his teeth knocked out, and so it's all fake. He just has like a bunch of teeth.
Yeah, the dentist gave the dentist threw in a couple extra because he was such a good customer.
Yeah, right. See, look at that one with him laughing.
Yeah,
all of them
wide mouth laughing. You're literally hovering over one where he looks really sad.
This one. Like I was like,
actually, yeah, there are a lot of. But he's amazing in The Righteous Gemstones.
Laughing smiles.
He's amazing in that show.
Look out for Walton Goggins.
Yeah,
is he?
I love this guy.
Cool. Yeah, we got some things to move on to. So let's go to our first link of the night.
Let's just talk about shows. I don't want to do this, man. This is
nobody does.
So Guitar Center added a G to their logo. That's the big news.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of ads. When I sent this link, it did not have this many ads on my screen.
Well, it's because they changed their logo, and they need people to remember that they're the same company. They're not.
That's true.
They've always been Guitar Center. They weren't Guitar Center before.
So it's recently come out in the news that Jared Kushner received $2 billion from Mohammed bin Salman, who may be known to some people as MBS. Also the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who likes killing reporters and I don't know, war crimes in Yemen and whatnot.
Yeah, he's also just known as Machete Guy.
Didn't they like cover it up in like just like a goofy stereotypical villain way?
Oh yeah,
like for sure.
They simultaneously tried really hard and didn't try at all.
Yeah, they put tape over the camera after they killed the guy.
Oh shit! We shouldn't be recording this.
Yeah. Oh shit! That's a camera. Shit! Get the tape.
Does it make it better or worse when the guys that end up brutally murdering you end up just being like the dumbest, goofiest guys?
I think that's
like, how do you feel about that?
Like, isn't that why the CIA got caught with all the information about torturings? Aren't just a lot of those
because they're dumb and goofy?
Yeah, because at least I can't remember. I need to research that because I think I remember some type of report that it's just like they just hired these people to like fucking torture people.
Yeah, no, that checks out. Yeah, they had like torture specialists, and it's like, how do you become a torture specialist first off, and then secondly,
they weren't Hannibal Lecter. They were just fucking like dumbasses that had good credit.
Right.
Like the PMCs of the torture world. Professional managerial class of the torture world.
The PMCs of the PMC world.
And any Walmart manager could be a CIA torturer.
That's
frankly,
like
they might as well be.
The funniest thing about PMCs in general, again, still talking about the professional managerial class, is that it's just certificate hunting until you find that certificate that can just like get you enough consulting gigs or like training gigs or apparently torture gigs if you're trying to work with the CIA. So somebody found out how to get like a fucking "you're a certified torturer" on a placard, and walked up to the CIA, and the CIA was like, "Oh yeah, checks out. DeVry, is that what it says?"
University of Phoenix.
Right.
My old boss ended up leaving our place of work where she was working as a project manager so she could get a certificate project management.
Yeah. I've actually looked into that.
Yeah, it's like working as a surgeon and being like, I need to go to surgery school. I'll be right back.
Well, that's
except none of it matters.
I mean, in my professional career, not to get too personal or anything like that, but something that's held me back as somebody who's managed public works, departments for several years and stuff like that is I don't have a dumb like certificate for project management. I just have 10 years of career experience of doing that kind of shit.
Right.
But since I don't have the certificate or like a degree in project management, I get passed up in interviews all the time.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happened to my father, where he was like a career musician all his life, and so every time he got like a within sniffing range of an opportunity at like a symphony director or teaching at a school or something, it never worked out because he was always, wait, do you have a bachelor's degree? Do you? No? Okay.
No? Oh, I'm
sorry. Move along
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the story, which we diverted from extremely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wouldn't you, listener? Wouldn't you?
Yeah. So, Jared Kushner, notably a genius, very charismatic gentleman, who ran a lot of defense for Saudi Arabia during Trump's presidency, just so happened to receive a pretty large sum of money. I mean, it's not like large for Mohammed bin Salman, but $2 billion towards his like investment firm, I guess, or something like that.
And again, we're saying billion with a B.
Yeah, like, billion.
Genuinely a gargantuan amount of money to change hands between human beings. Right. I mean, MBS has more money than God does, but
exactly.
But yeah, $2 billion. Imagine someone giving you $1,000.
Yeah, I know, right? So
the government did it once. Yeah.
Jared Kushner landed $2 billion from Saudi Arabia 6 months after his father-in-law Donald Trump left the White House. The sum was sent to Kushner's private equity firm after Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman overruled advisors for his nation's sovereign wealth fund, who thought Kushner and his firm were too sketchy to warrant such a large investment. Again, this is a personal favor between, one guy who was done a bunch of favors and the guy that did the favors. And this is the payout from that. So, a lot of legitimate criticism from the right has been levied against our favorite crack son, Hunter Biden.
Yeah, right.
but also, let's also talk about the internal dealings of the Trump White House and his kids.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that Hunter Biden, and again, not excusing this in any way, shape, or form, because the Bidens are pretty dreadful, but the Hunter Biden gets in all this trouble because, frankly, his calamities are actually funnier. They're just extremely funny, which does not help his case. But also because the Bidens have literally any interest in saying it didn't happen, right? Or trying to like fix it after it comes out and you can't say it didn't happen.
Right.
Whereas the Trumps are just like, I gave my daughter a job, so would you. Yeah, he got $2 billion from the prince. Why wouldn't you take $2 billion from the prince? He literally solved the opioid crisis. Remember that? Wasn't that a cool moment when you did that?
That was a super cool moment. Shoot, I had something else. I was gonna say between like all the fail sons, I think the only just thing at this point to determine who's good and who's bad in this, right? Like, because the right wingers love Trump and his kids, and his sons are sketchy, weird doofuses. The libs love Biden and his kid. I don't know how many does he have left. I'm not keeping track.
I think it's just the one.
Yeah. So they're always like,
I mean, both folks are in the house. So.
Hunter Biden, he's just a mixed up guy that got addicted to drugs or whatever. They're always defending him and, kind of hand waving away like all the obvious corruption that happened in Ukraine between the Bidens and some oligarchs. I think what they have to do is they'll have to whip their dicks out. Whoever's his longest is now the good kid. And Hunter Biden's going to win. Yeah, and Hunter Biden's going to win.
He's got a hog.
Do you think Biden ever thinks the wrong kid died?
Oh, every fucking day. Every fucking day. I mean, without a doubt. Like you've got the war hero son that dies from brain cancer, and then you've got the crack addict son that just can't stop fucking up and like showing his kid literal asshole to people on the internet.
Accidentally smoking crack because of like a cigarette was dipped in it.
What the fuck?
Sorry, what was that, John?
I said what the fuck. That's
before that.
I don't remember. All I can think is a cigarette dipped in crack.
Yeah, I mean it's good.
Getting the cravings again, huh?
Who's your favorite fail son out of all these like political fail sons?
It's got to be Hunter Biden.
Yeah, it's not Malia Obama.
What's the last thing she did? She like got drunk and danced at a party or something.
Honestly, the most recent thing I remember hearing about her was that she had a job in high school. Like I haven't heard or cared about anything since then.
Yeah, I remember. I just remember like briefly, a bunch of people were all riled up because there was like a video of her like dancing at a regular party where she was a little bit drunk and she might not have been of age or something.
Oh yeah, and then,
wow, that's awful.
Like you think about like the Bush twins, though.
Right? Yeah, the Bush twins, or even Bush himself. Like, hell yeah, I got drunk and drove the other night.
What about
it's
all
a rite of passage. You don't get into the skull and bones.
Sorry, the Republican Party.
What was the question? I'm sorry, I talked over you.
All of the lesbian daughters that come out of the Republican Party.
Oh yeah.
Well, they're also like the worst lesbians, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But what was Netanyahu had a son who was just like the funniest Israeli douchebag in the world. I think it was Netanyahu.
It's gotta be, yeah.
I'll find some stuff and share it next time. But just some of the funniest quotes come out of him, like getting in trouble outside of clubs. because he's,
Yeah, so in the chat we have V saying masters in cock and ball torture at Benghazi State University. And then also they say, I think all three of you need to whip your dicks out, which is not going to happen.
It's happened. I mean, it's not going to happen again, but it has definitely happened.
Yeah, not here and not on camera.
Yeah. Well, on
you said that it was a private event, Dorian.
Hell yeah.
I did hit the record button on Zoom a couple
You
times.
Sons of bitches. Can't trust you at all. Let's go ahead and hit the next link, by the way.
I thought Zoom was a private platform.
We will get through this episode.
We will get through this episode. I picked this particular article because it's hilarious to me. The headline reads, "There's a South Pacific island that runs on crypto and NFTs. Take a look at Crypto Paradise." The first thing, we can go ahead
and...
Just
a parking lot?
We can roll this video. It doesn't have any sound associated, or it has like music, but it doesn't have any like voiceover or anything like that.
Satoshi Island. Real life product.
Could you actually turn it down just a little bit, John?
The island, which is now owned by... Oh, it's not owned by him. It's owned by a holding company.
Holy shit,
because of course it is.
Loud.
Yeah, the music is super
South
loud.
Pacific nation of Vanuatu. All transactions will be conducted in Bitcoin, so not even just like the ambiguous crypto, but Bitcoin. That's a lot. All property would be owned as an NFT.
What?
Wait, they give you a floor plan? They give you a floor plan of your home?
Yeah. So each person, go ahead and pause real quick.
That rules. That's
each person who lives on the island. Well, first, in order to live on the island, you have to purchase a citizenship NFT.
I mean, frankly, that is the only reasonable application, if you believe in things like citizenship, which I don't, for blockchain that I can think of at the moment, would be
sort of, kind of, yeah.
Would be as an identifier for you. So using it as an ID would be good. Would be solid, right?
To an extent. I would never want to be tracked in that way, but
well, no, I wouldn't want it either. But that's the thing, is that I disagree with the entire premise.
Right,
but if you're going to do it, then
I guess that's a way to do it, right?
I mean, so on this island, if somebody steals your identity, do you go to copyright court?
Well,
John, I've got bad news about this island. Let's not get ourselves mired in like the theoretical what ifs. We've talked about islands like this before on this broadcast.
Yeah, that is one of the problems with things like crypto, is that they do have this like one-way operability, so there are no refunds.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe a minor issue. Yeah.
So the first thing is you're seeing all this flashy video stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of that exists on the island at all. So the headline itself, if we could scroll back up to that real quick. There's a South Pacific island that runs on crypto and NFTs. There is not a South Pacific island that runs off of crypto and NFTs. There is a proposed island that will theoretically run off of crypto and NFTs. But as of yet, the island has recently just been purchased, and it has a couple of like huts on it.
That I mean, it sounds like they're accurate then.
There is no electrical infrastructure, which notably everything involved with crypto requires at least electricity. The second major hurdle is there's no internet on the island. So I guess they're gonna set up a shit ton of satellite receivers somewhere.
So are they going to try to pay local construction workers in fucking cryptocurrency?
Well, that's the thing, right? In order to get citizenship on this island, the citizenship NFT costs around like 150 grand, I think it is.
Oh, shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up. I'm talking.
No, I just say that to concept sometimes.
Yeah, no. So already like yeah, I mean they're gonna have to bring in people, right? And those people probably aren't gonna accept Bitcoin for payment for their like real actual services rendered. They're gonna want like whatever currency is probably associated with their country of origin. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Let's finish this video. So the thing that they're selling for like efficiency's sake is all of the housing and business office area spaces are going to be provided by this one company that makes like modular building things. The base cost for a modular unit is $60,000. It is essentially the same size as a shipping container, but like obviously the inside's been refinished. And as a guy who's looked in,
and is something that people can actually afford.
Well, yeah. So
that's what I find surprising, actually. Like I guess it's $100,000 citizenship also.
And also, these things cost $60,000.
Well, theoretically,
do they cost that at the market end?
Well, that's the thing I was going to bring up is you're paying $60,000 for something the size of a shipping container, which is
they are actually at market paying 60. Okay.
So yeah, we're talking about a 40-foot long by 10-foot wide structure, and if you want anything bigger than that, you're now at $120,000. These are not cost-effective
I mean,
things to buy.
Yeah, right. I mean, for you and your wife to move here, though, I mean, that's pretty affordable. That's only $420,000. It's only just under $500,000. It's fine. Maybe you want to have like a kitchen in addition to like your additional space. So maybe it's just 500,000. Maybe it rounds up.
500,000 just to live on. We'll get into how the land is apportioned, by the way, because this entire thing is 800 acres. And it's divvied up into 21,000 plots. So we're talking about I think I did the math and it was something like 1,600 square feet per plot.
Wow, that's not
very much, is it?
No, it's not. I mean a very large apartment, and not including a like a yard or anything. That's 1,100. So imagine. Theoretically, you're living on an island, so you might want to have things like a yard and outdoor space, things like that. Yeah,
because the center of the island is going to be taken up by a giant Bitcoin logo. By the way, that's part of the plan. Right.
But also, so two things. Number one, I've mentioned this on the podcast before, I think, but I've lived in an apartment complex made of stacked, repurposed shipping containers filled with a bunch of plastic hardware and cabinetry and stuff. And they, I'm sorry to crush everyone's tiny house dreams, but they suck.
Yeah.
They're bad and ungood.
All tiny homes suck.
Yeah. But the second part, which is just my favorite thing about all these weird crypto islands and all these different thoughts, and even before crypto, when you just had weirdo libertarians being like, we're gonna buy a city in South America, these things are so cool to me because of the fact that they're all predicated on this market logic where you're all going to like compete and the strong will survive kind of thing. And that's how the world should be. And so they're predicated on markets and competition, but it only serves for them to produce more and more bizarre types of monopoly.
Right.
Like the goal is always to just build a monopoly town.
Well, and the other thing is, this is a completely disconnected island, right? And in order to run a functional society, you need some level of infrastructure. You need people who not only build the roads and the water lines and the electrical lines and all that, but you need people who also maintain these things. They're talking about having a giant Bitcoin logo in the center of the island. You need somebody who maintains those grounds.
You do what every major city does, and you import labor from offshore.
Right, which is like, what is the economy going to be? Because again, I'm thinking from the perspective of, me as somebody who's worked as like a contractor in certain applications and stuff like that. If someone proposed to me, hey, I know that you operate in the realm of, United States dollars that have like actual value and can be traded for goods at like regular stores. What I would like to pay you in instead is Bitcoin. I would say, okay, well, you're going to have to find a different guy. And I can't imagine that there's a whole lot of people in the South Pacific that are like, yes, I will work for your imaginary coin money instead of like USD that I can trade.
You're making a really fundamental mistake here, which is that you're assuming that they'd be willing to give away any of their Bitcoin.
Right,
even for services. And so what would have to happen if this place were to ever get off the ground is the worst thing imaginable.
Not slavery, not again.
Right, no, exactly. Where you would just have like a, God damn, what the fuck is that place called that I wish didn't exist? That evil desert town full of skyscrapers.
Oh, Dubai?
Dubai, yeah, it would be just like the Dubai thing, especially because these are all contract nerds, where you would say, hey, people from these other islands, do you want to come over here and work? You'll just have to sign this contract. And they would come over and they would get to live in a shipping container and their contract would extend itself another 5 years every 2 years.
If you don't cancel it in time.
Yeah, if you don't cancel it, if you don't cancel it 3 years in advance, then
no, they would literally be placed in debt by their own working there, right? Like that's fundamentally what would happen, it would start to be bad. But that leads me to my big question about this, because infrastructure and roads and shit like that are always a question for libertarian weirdos. So is this question that I think would work in another type of libertarian community, of a different type of libertarian, but probably not for these fucking weirdos, which is what kind of court and authority systems do you have functioning on this fucking island full of neckbeard pricks?
The blockchain will assuredly take care of it all, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then when one of these guys or all of these guys murder their wives at the same time, what happens then?
It's a Twitter poll of your peers.
But then who kills them, or like puts them in a cage, or like who does it? Is it just the whole community gets together? Is it like an actual like anarcho paradise where you solve things that way?
I mean, I'm sure this will attract one productive sociopath to be the axe man.
Yeah.
When they fail their Twitter opinion poll.
What do you do on Crypto Island? I am the law.
And the governor, and he'll like decide he's also, I don't know, like the surgeon, and the all these things. He's just gonna have this magical role. It's gonna become an Epstein Island, but with slaves instead of just kids.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of projects always seem to attract a certain kind of guy who is also, maybe the kind of guy who would have been found on Little St. James Island.
But I lied. This is just gonna be Firefest. That's it.
Yeah, I mean the idea that this is ever going to get off the ground. I mean, unlike Cryptoland, which is the island that we looked at when we were making fun of these kind of projects, they actually did buy this island. So that only opens the door for darker things, rather than just like funny things where it's like, these people thought Cryptoland was going to be real. Now some kind of Cryptoland is going to be real, and it's going to be hell for a certain group of people. And I don't know, it's probably going to be hell for everyone involved, really, because I don't see a way to like get this off the ground and actually make it happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a place for like extremely rich, like billionaire class serial killers and pedophiles. Take their victims to their windowless box unit.
Yeah, I mean, if you commit some kind of terrible crime, white collar or otherwise, and you were told, hey, if you give us $150,000, you can live on a cool island with all your other bros that do that kind of thing.
Are you asking me?
No, it's just it's obvious what occurs from there, right? So I'm gonna rob some banks.
If you already have the moral depravity to become a billionaire, you're definitely on board with that kind of thing. Go ahead and play the rest of this video, John.
Did they take installment?
Oh, it does have Windows.
Well, yeah, it's got Windows, but that's also in like Tokyo, I think, because of the company that builds these modular units.
Wait. I'm sorry. Can we go back like 30 seconds? More. Oh yeah. The pause. The Citizenship NFT does not give the buyer actual citizenship for the island chain that it's on. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So, John, you need to scroll up a little bit. You're cropping the video, by the way.
So it's not even. We were missing the really important rest of the CGI. But yeah. So these people don't even. It's not even in their own weird extranational space. It's literally still to be subject to the laws of Vanuatu or whatever.
Right.
F's in the chat for me not being able to pronounce the country's name.
Whatever, man. It happens. Go ahead and play it, John. Satoshi Island will have seven NFT zones like neighborhoods. So basically an NFT zone is just a neighborhood, but with a different name, so that crypto bros feel comfortable having their weirdo NFT fantasies validated by the fact that they live in an NFT zone instead of a neighborhood.
What is an NFT fantasy? What do people, I can imagine so many people's fantasies that I don't have, and be like, oh, I think that's why they like them. Why? What is the
NFT fantasy? I'm glad you asked.
What you feel? What feel you? What do you, and what do you feel that about?
The NFT fantasy is that you can profit off of doing literally nothing except for screenshotting the thing.
No, but isn't that just it's like an extra step in the crypto fantasy.
Right, yeah. That's why the NFT fantasy sucks more than the crypto fantasy.
Yeah, but have you seen Gary V's NFTs? They fucking rule.
I refuse to ever look at anything related to Gary V.
They're really good. They're awesome. I've literally, you can watch him make them. He my favorite one.
Drag and drop some fucking like cutouts onto things. Is that all it is?
No, it's worse. It's actually worse. He has a bunch of animals that are named after like Live, Laugh, Love posters or something.
Oh, okay.
But the one that is the most magical, because I could make it right now in real time and we wouldn't waste any, but I don't have a pen in my, I have one in my pocket. No. But it just says macro in big letters, and it says micro in small letters. And they scanned it, and that's an NFT. And what's even better is that, you know, you need to be able to reproduce these things, you know, because, you know, it's not antithetical to NFTs. And, you know, it takes a lot of labor. So, you know, you got to really milk it. And so each of these NFTs that he makes, including like this micro macro one, are sold in batches. Like Mike has gotten tired of this shit. He's just looking up porn on his phone.
No. I was gonna do the math real quick. I'm listening. I promise.
But so he sells these in batches, and so it's not even like your macro micro NFT. It's just there are a lot of them. It's like buying a vinyl that someone put a number onto for no reason.
Yeah.
Except a vinyl you can play.
Man. Yeah, that sucks.
Really cool. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so yeah, I did recall correctly. So on the video right now, it says it spans 800 acres and contains 21,000 individual parcels of land. That comes out to 1,655 square feet per plot of land.
Hell yeah. Very cool. Very cool. And all of that land will definitely be used for housing.
Right. Yeah. well, what's amazing about it is there's a giant fucking Bitcoin logo in the center of the island.
Yep.
So those parcels of land are conceivably much smaller than 1,600 square feet.
Power stations and shit like that probably take up a little bit of space.
If this thing gets off the ground, don't you think that Elon Musk is going to build a vacation mansion fucking on this island?
No, Elon Musk lives in a modest apartment, according to his ex. And other people who have a vested interest in portraying Elon Musk as some kind of pedestrian billionaire kind of guy.
Yeah, because
by a modest apartment, does that mean like a penthouse?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, oh, he lives in something that an NFL player would live in.
No,
modest.
there's this whole thing about like how Elon Musk only lives in like a shitty apartment because he decided to sell all of his houses because people were criticizing him as like a billionaire. So he was like, fine, I'll sell all my houses. But then it turns out he actually lives, he rents out this like fucking multi-million-dollar mansion. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
It's fucking
And
dumb
I would
bullshit.
imagine owns property through shell companies.
Yeah, it's all fucking bullshit. And if you think Elon Musk isn't just some billionaire douche prick, like get the fuck away from this channel, please.
Yeah,
douche prick.
Well, and it's laughable that somebody like that would fucking live in a regular person apartment. Like, where does
Grimes,
does he keep his security team to keep away fucking
they sleep in the office. They sleep in his office. Yeah.
Grimes, his astroturfed musician girlfriend said that he lives a pauper lifestyle or something like that.
Oh
damn!
Yeah,
damn, bro.
Must be hard.
That's really cool.
Please her, man.
Yeah.
All that means to me is that I have a chance with Grimes, which I desperately want. I got some shit in my kids. I think it's ceiling asbestos.
Yeah,
it's probably from
the rats kicked up some dust.
God, thank you, rats.
You're gonna get eye cancer now.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be the funniest.
You'll have shittier vision somehow.
Yeah. When I've been like rubbing my glasses on the floor every morning just to like accelerate it. But
you're giving yourself the cyberpunk scan lines.
Yeah, well, I not only do I have cyberpunk scan lines, I'm also making all of my other senses stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Like Daredevil.
Yeah, it's actually that's part of my whole game is that I very slowly blind myself before going on a date. That way I'm less picky, right? So whoever they are doesn't really matter, and all the rest of my senses are elevated. So
it's one of the grossest things I've ever heard you say.
That'd be one of those great storybook arcs where like the final chapter, it's like you're 55 and the doctor says you have emphysema and 3 years to live, and you're going to be like, well, why? And it's like, because your lungs are full of rat shit.
Yeah,
and asbestos
and glass dust from grinding on your spectacles.
Well, it's on account of your behaviors and your actions. Actually.
I mean, that is what's funny is that this is invariably going to be a conversation we all have with our doctors, right? Which is, wait, why do I have kidney, liver, lung, and butthole cancer? Oh, it's because I eat, drink, and smoke like shit. Mm-hmm. Okay, get it.
Oh, thanks, doctor. I needed to be told that again.
Oh, so I'm blind because of masturbation and also the sandpaper.
Yeah. Go ahead and play this just a couple seconds longer, John. All right, go. Oh, right there. Oh, wait, no, not that one. Sorry, keep going. This is still fake shit. This is all still renders.
Yeah,
this is all.
Is it this one?
But in a moment we'll see what is actually on the island. And it's funny.
Let's fucking do it. Let's go.
They're trying to sell these modules. Over 50,000 people have already applied to live on Satoshi Island. There's 21,000 plots, so that's not gonna go well. Yeah.
So why would you become a citizen on this? Well, I guess they did show the solution. Like we just looked at an apartment.
Yeah.
Like so they want.
Yeah, they had enough shipping containers stacked on top of each other to make an apartment complex.
Yeah.
Which you're now paying $150,000 to live in an apartment complex, with your landlord being some Bitcoin weirdo.
How much space does an airstrip take?
Well, I mean, ski resorts,
a lot of space.
Well, ski resorts have airports, so some do. Like ones for billionaires. So I guess like I'm sure there's a minimal amount if you only have a certain amount of air traffic.
I mean, minimal, but we're talking about minimal in terms of like I only have
800 acres
square feet to live on.
Right.
I think you could land a plane on 800 acres for sure if you set aside a land.
No, I don't doubt that at all. I'm just talking about like we're taking that out of our housing budget,
out of the math division.
Oh yeah,
and there's got to be at least 2 helipads and like ideally a hospital and shit. Well, like hospitals aren't small.
Oh no, they haven't thought through. Again, let's stop getting ourselves mired in the details because
okay, fine. They need to have a server farm. They need to have a server farm. Yeah, no, that's really cool, and I love that they're essentially just paying the same amount to live in what's going to be just a muggier, more awful Bay Area.
Yeah.
Like to live in the same kind of space that they would otherwise, but worse in every conceivable way.
Absolutely.
They don't even have Victorians. It's all just the new housing too. It's just yeah.
It's all just the shitty modular housing that you pay 60 grand for a 40 by 1 or 10 foot space.
Well, unless you're the top class,
unless you're dad,
unless you're the top of the bottoms, am I right? Which just really quick for perspective's sake, if you're having trouble imagining what a 40 by 10 foot space looks like for $60,000,
it's 4 bedrooms. It's 4 bedrooms lined up.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that, or like lay down on the ground and then like I don't know, like lay down half again on the ground. That's your entire width, and that's what you get to deal with width-wise, but for 40 feet. So like it's super long, but
you could roll 40 times down it.
I mean, the thing is, like, let's say you and your mail order bride are trying to walk opposite directions in this 40 by 10 foot container, like that's gonna feel weird. There's gonna be a lot of like contact between you two, and neither of you signed up for a lot of contact. You just signed up to not feel lonely, you know.
See, I think that it's going to be even worse in the fact that, like, as far as tiny homes go, I think that's a Connex box is a larger tiny home.
And then you have to consider
just enough like space to like have distance but still feel caged together.
Right, and then you also have to consider like things that are built out, like countertops that reduce the amount of space that you're working with, etc. Sorry, Dorian, what were you saying?
No, and with considerations like countertops and needing to put in tables and beds and all sorts of shit like that, the average might be the small average of like a studio apartment in the US, right? Not a lot of space. You walk in, you've experienced the whole place right then and there. It's 600 square feet, which is 200 square feet. It's literally half added on to one of these. 400 versus 600. And these are tiny as shit.
Yep. For $60,000. Play this just a little bit longer, John, please. And so there's the landing strip, I guess. And then pause right there. That's what actually exists on the island right now. Just 7 small huts in like a central building. So anyways, good luck, Satoshi Island. We wish you the best, but also we wish you horribly fail, and it's funny. We had to go on to prisons now. We've spent way too much time talking about other topics. So we left off on the last episode with how to go to prison. Now you're in prison. What happens to you now that you are an imprisoned body? Somebody who is now no longer living on their own free whim, essentially. The first thing that happens to you is the bail bond, sort of financial structure, right? So this article The title or the headline is U.S. bail bond insurers spend big to keep defendants paying. Insurance companies have spent $17 million to defeat proposals to weaken or abolish the for-profit bail industry in the United States, a system that brings insurers $15 billion in business a year, according to a Reuters analysis of campaign contributions, company financial statements, and interviews with more than 36 experts on criminal justice, campaign finance, or bail.
And let's be clear and explicit, like right off the bat, about what bail really is. Which is
that's the next link, actually. But go ahead.
Okay, which is that someone puts you in a cage, and then they ask you, "Are you rich?" And then you say, "Not very," and then they say, "Do you want to stay in jail?" And you say, "No." So they send you to someone that'll break your legs and forces you to give them a percentage of money so that you can get out. Right. Or you're rich and you get out, or you're not able to do it and you don't, I guess, need to keep your job magically. You're both poor and don't need to keep your job, and then you're in jail until they can figure out what to do with you, or choose to figure out what to do with you. Which is also awesome.
Yeah, so and mind you, extortion. It's an extortion racket, essentially. And mind you, you can be wrongfully imprisoned. This happens all the time. And the shortest way for you to get out of that wrongful imprisonment is, as we'll see in the next link, essentially to plead guilty, but push for time served, which is time that you've spent in jail not being able to pay your bail. And so companies are making massive amounts of profit off of this. It's a $15 billion industry. That's not profits necessarily, but profits are somewhere in that $15 billion, which even if it's $1 billion of profit, that's a lot of fucking money still.
What I hear though, which is the silver lining in all this, if you're trying to get an apartment or a job or something, and they ask you if you have a felony, whether or not you did it, they care a lot if you tell them, technically I only said yes and then I did time served even though I didn't do it.
Right, yeah.
They're all very amenable to hearing that.
Your permanent record is forever fucked, essentially.
Yeah.
But so this Reuters article,
that's cool.
This Reuters article goes into the spending has jumped more than tenfold since 2010, as insurers have led the industry's lobbying effort targeting laws in more than a dozen states, the analysis shows. So basically, these companies are willing to spend millions of dollars in order to protect this extortion racket that exists, which is the bail bonds industry. And if they're willing to spend millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, that they're making billions of dollars in profit, at least. It doesn't, it's just a simple mathematics question at that point. Would you spend $10 million to make $1 billion? Yes, of course I would. The industry opposition comes as President Joe Biden and other Democrats have renewed calls to dismantle what they describe as a bias system that harms mostly low-income people. Illinois.
It's cool that Biden cares about that now. That's interesting.
If I was the editor on this, I would say the industry opposition comes as President Joe Biden and other Democrats have pretended that they care about this issue because they really fucking don't. A lot of this stuff is stuff that could be handled, as with a lot of Biden's issues, by executive order, and he just decides not to do that because he believes in the system. Process, et cetera, process over actual progress.
Whoa, mic drop. Drop from
that was not meant to be a mic drop moment. That is just a very fair criticism. Rap air horn, et cetera. I'm actually working on figuring out how I can get a soundboard over here so I can start doing dumb sound drops, which is what we really need on this podcast.
Yeah.
More distractions and dumb shit.
So we can be like a 90s, early 90s talk morning show.
Yeah. I want to be the radio, but worse.
Because you have to look at us. Because like all radio people, even though they have those like silky voices,
yeah,
they're all almost all hideous.
It's barely coming through on your microphone. I know what you're trying to do over there, Dorian, but it's not working. Anyways, Illinois last month enacted a law to abolish. Stop that! Jesus Christ, man!
You asked for it.
No, I said I'm working on it.
You fucking.
I said I'm working on it,
and the problem's been solved.
No, it has not. That is not satisfactory sound quality for this podcast, which has got very low standards.
No pleasing you.
Was that the Taco Bell ding?
It was.
I feel so bad inside that I recognize that. Anyways, the insurance industry has succeeded, however, in beating back such measures in other states, allowing insurers to increase sales even as public pressure grows to reduce or eliminate cash bail. In 2019, bail insurers increased premium income by 8%, according to insurance credit agency AM Best. So bail is meant to ensure people charged with crimes appear in court. Amounts range from as little as a few $100s to $100 million or more. Defendants who post the full amount are freed pending trial and typically get their money back. Even though they typically get their money back, this is still $1 billion industry. And then you also have things like, inflation, etc. Being able to use that money to invest in things, other sorts of ways that you can play around with the financials of being given a shit ton of money. Go ahead and go to the next link.
If we didn't have the bail system, we wouldn't have Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm just gonna say, and you know what? Maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, that would be worth it.
Didn't he die?
Yeah. I don't care. No, his wife died.
Oh,
which is funnier, frankly, than him dying.
So this article
she had knockers, dude. She was just two big old boobs.
That's one thing you can say about her. I don't know what else you can say about her.
She had a cool ass haircut. They both did.
The mullet side buzz is coming back someday, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, with little braids and shit. It's like a all the things I want to say are really offensive. Anyway, but
you got a problem, man.
my favorite thing about Dog and his wife are that
what's his wife's name?
Pam? I don't know. I don't care.
It's Pam. I bet it's Pam.
It's Pam. It's definitely Pam. So Dog and Pam. But my favorite thing about them is that it proves a theory that a lot of people generally accept, which is that you and your dog, the longer you spend time around one another, begin to look alike.
Yeah. Very clever, Dorian.
Thank you.
We're proud of you. So this article from Quartz is headlined: "The U.S. bail system punishes the poor and rewards the rich." The witch.
Rewards the witch.
Go ahead and scroll down, John.
Yeah. Another thing too from what I understand, the majority of bounty hunters are the bail bondsmen and their employees, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the guys that break the law.
Or it's becoming that.
Yeah, or at least like tightly connected, where it's just like we're like a repo company that also does bail bonds, or like we're a bail bond company that has these repo people who we really like. And
it's all those like seedy business kind of like avenues that like nobody likes, like tow trucks. Like, yeah, you need a tow truck when you break down, but also like mostly what tow trucks do is steal your car in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Fucking, I don't know how tow truck guys sleep at night.
Insane.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's actually funny because it took me a little while to realize, like, I knew that they were the same people, but for it to really sink in, because I have had a lot of piece of shit cars that break down all the time. And I've needed the help of a lot of tow guys, and I used to tip them, being like, you drove all the way out here,
thanks, Hoss.
Put chains on my fucking car, and you dealt with all this shit. And but really all they did is, they put chains on a car and they drove away. And then I realized, oh wait, you're the guy that also tows cars. You're the tow guy.
Stole my car and then charged me $350 for it.
And now it's like the one kind of person that helps me out on a regular basis that I refuse to tip. I can't do it.
Your tip is being able to sleep at night, you piece of shit.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, Better Call Saul coming back this month. Very exciting.
Oh, I just watched maybe I watched last year's episodes then. Very good. Each year, hundreds of thousands of Americans go to jail without being convicted of a crime simply because they are too poor to make bail. Jurisdictions across the country rely on money bail to determine who goes free before trial. Not only is the system an enormous waste of public resources, it does deep injustice to people who are still presumed innocent. Richard Stanford, for example, is a 63-year-old Vietnam veteran who lives with his daughter in Baltimore County, Maryland. He had exactly 31 cents to his name when he was arrested on May 17th for trespassing, but the judge set his bail at $2,600. Stanford could have asked his daughter for help, but she can barely pay her own bills on her modest medical technician salary, so he sat in jail for 3 weeks on what is euphemistically referred to as the expedited docket. No trials, no witnesses, just guilty pleas or postponements till the next trial date. Desperate to get out of jail, Stanford waived his rights and pled guilty to a time-served sentence. He was sentenced to 3 weeks, the amount of time he had already served in jail, and released that afternoon. Stanford's story is far too common, and the broken bail system harms not only the people in jail, but the public at large. Our research, recently published in the Journal of Legal Studies, show that this system subverts justice by causing convictions and new crime, using a large sample of criminal cases in Philadelphia where defendants are randomly assigned to judges, some of whom are harsh and others lenient in setting bail amounts. We were able to determine the causal implications of money bail on defendant outcomes. The results were staggering. The assignment of bail makes defendants 12% more likely to be convicted. Although our research did not attempt to determine why this might be, it seems likely that many defendants, given the choice of remaining in jail or pleading guilty in exchange for immediate release, opt for the latter option. In this way, pretrial incarceration is used to coerce guilty pleas. Perhaps even more troubling, money bail makes defendants 6 to 9% more likely to commit new crimes after arrest. We don't need to read this anymore. The reason that they are more likely to commit crimes after arrest is because they are no longer hireable people. They have pled guilty to a crime. They now have that on their permanent record. It is hard to get hired in this country as a criminal. And when you may be innocent of a crime, but your bail is set at, some amount you can't pay, and the only way out of jail, and therefore the only way out of a situation where you can't support yourself or maybe the people you care about, is to essentially plead guilty to the crime and then get out and do maybe under the table work, or maybe do, some drug sales or something like that. Whatever you can do as somebody who wants to provide for their family, you incriminate yourself, and you no longer can be a part of the legitimate workforce, so to speak.
And right, and just to kind of bolster that, it also, generally speaking, if you have to take 3 weeks off of work randomly, you're probably not going to be able to call your boss, yourself at least. And even if you could, you have to tell them, well, actually, I'm not going to be able to make it into work for 3 fucking weeks because I was I'm being charged with trespassing.
Right.
Yeah, because I was arrested. Probably not going to have a job after that. And so you will be forced into some kind of, situation where you have to find work following. And then this can also affect things like your, like I mentioned before, your ability to attain housing, which most people have to more or less renegotiate every 3 to 12 months, right? So yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind. Also, this is just a theory that popped into my head. But when they mentioned that you're 12% more likely to be found guilty if you're assigned bail, that or like aggressive bail, it does kind of just seem like a good way of highlighting judges being already kind of
predisposed.
Yeah, predisposed, and even if it's like a jury trial. Where because the judge is going to color a lot of things. If they're saying like you have to pay me fucking $2,600 because you walked onto a construction site or something, then chances are the trial may not go phenomenally well for you.
Right. John has highlighted something that is useful.
Hell yeah.
A full fifth of the U.S. jail population, 450,000 people, are awaiting trial. So that's a lot of people. Awaiting trial. They haven't been sentenced. They haven't had their day in court or anything like that. They are awaiting trial.
It also highlights that at any one point in time, there's 2.25 million people hanging out in jail.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
So that leads us to our next topic, which is you've already been maybe predated upon by the bail bond industry.
Hell yeah. I love predators.
So this is Unicore. And
that sounds friendly.
Yeah, you may ask yourself, what is Unicore? In parentheses next to Unicore here on this article, which it's a good sign. Like, let's say you go to whitehouse.gov, right? What do you not expect to see at the top of the page?
Brought to you by
a disclaimer saying this is an actual government website, which is what Unicore has to do because it's so incredulous as an organization that at the very top it has to say an official website of the United States government, and then it has a link that says here's how you know. And I look at the link and it's like, by the way, a .gov site is an actual government website, and so we're a real legitimate government entity. So Unicore, and in parentheses next to it says FPI, which is the Federal Prison Industry, I think, or something like that. I don't know.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not great, and that's why they chose the trade name Unicore, because it sounds nicer than we do slave labor.
Well,
so
they're bragging about it.
Yeah, no, that's what's amazing about this is the history of Unicore, in parentheses FPI, 85 years of building brighter futures. Prison industries work programs have grown from deeply seated roots which have withstood the challenges of time. From the late 1700s, spanning the Civil War, Great Depression, World War II, and other major conflicts, and despite periods of criticism from detractors, increasingly constrictive procurement laws, and misinformation and stigma associated with the value of inmate-made goods, prison industry work programs have endured.
This literally sounds like a fucking slave trader from like any point in time in history.
Yeah,
can anybody tell me what was legal during the 1700s?
Yeah, and directly after the Civil War.
Yeah, and also during and after the Civil War, some parts of the Great Depression. This is a slave program. Go ahead and go to the next link.
Look,
you don't want to check out their products.
The only people that are going to be able to make license plates are going to be prison slave labor
and light fixtures and fucking they make all kinds of shit.
They also break really big rocks with pickaxes
for gravel.
I don't know why they do it. I just
it's actually for no reason.
Yeah. They walk along railroads, cleaning or something.
Literally working in fields.
Also, I mean, I'm trying to come up with the joke answers here.
Yeah, we don't have to do joke answers.
Yeah, but they're not funny though.
I don't know.
So go ahead and scroll down a little bit so we can see the full map of the United States. This is where Unicore factory locations.
Keep scrolling so we can get to Hawaii.
No, we can't do that. All factory locations, March 2022. So this is very, very recent data from Unicore. You might notice a concentration of where the factory locations reside in. Not so much in like the northwest sort of region, a little bit in California. We'll get into that later. But kind of in like the south and southeast regions is where a lot of these Unicore factory locations are. John, completely unrelated note. Could we go to the next link? So this is where the majority of Black people live. Majority of U.S. Black populations live in the South. Can we maybe bounce back and forth between those two links? No reason.
Just stroke us out.
Yeah, just like.
Yeah, keep going.
There's probably no reason that these two maps like almost mirror each other in like where they're situated.
I mean, one important difference would be that
hey Milwaukee, you got 2 fucking factories in your state, bro. I live in California. We got 4, 5.
The state of Milwaukee.
Yeah, the state of Milwaukee.
But yeah, I mean the one difference, which I do think is notable and interesting, is that on so you see it kind of flowing through, right, on the prison map. You don't see it a whole lot in the Northeast or the Northwest, but you do see it go through the Midwest, and you see it in the South, and then California and Arizona, because fucking of course. But click over to the other map. You do see that the Northeast and the Midwest have the same amount of Black population, whereas the South has, of course, like the greatest concentration. Yeah. But that's another thing that is interesting to me, is that these prisons float up through the Midwest as well as in the South. Even though it's like there are clearly more of these prisons in the Midwest than there are in the Northeast, which is my way of saying poor people. So this is an intersectional sequence of maps where it's both because of a legacy of slavery and racial segregation, but it is also just that there are more poor people.
But we are indeed class reductionists, and we believe that class plays a large role in things, and it turns out that Black people have been, kind of relegated to a lower class through history.
It's true. And that's what I heard.
And so that's why the Black class, or sorry, not the Black class.
The Black class.
the Black population in the United States has all these extreme ailments that affect the poor class of America, because they are the primary poor group of America. They are the people that have been chosen to be poor, essentially.
Hell yeah.
So Unicore, cool. Let's go to the link after the Black population map. We can go to the Black population map real quick too. Yeah, and then we can move on again. I was just joking about that, John. Jesus Christ, man. So this article from businessreview.berkeley.edu, profiting off of prison labor, and you can recuse yourself from this, Dorian, because I know you went to Berkeley and maybe you have some. Nah, it's fine.
We'll talk. Yeah.
We're propagandists here. Factories with Fences and American-made boasts Unicore, better known as the Federal Prison Industries Program. So yeah, I think that's what I said, right? That's what FPI stands for?
Yeah.
Unicore makes nearly $500 million in net sales annually using prison labor, paying inmates between 23 cents to $1.15 per hour.
Okay, I'm sorry, really quick. What the fuck does Unicore stand for, though?
Unicore doesn't stand for anything. It's the
it
trade.
Needs to stand for something.
Nope, it doesn't. Sorry, man.
No.
I feverishly searched for some kind of meaning besides it's the trade name that we chose for the Federal Prison Industries Program. That's literally all it is. It's just the trade name that they use because it sounds better than Federal Prison Industries Program.
I mean,
that might be true.
I know. I'm telling you, this is true. I looked into it for like 30 full minutes,
maybe
trying to figure out if it meant something else.
Maybe it's like some like Illuminati conspiracy. Like it is an acronym. Nobody knows except for insiders what it means.
Oh my God. It's worse.
I don't think it's worse. What?
It's worse than not having a meaning. It has a meaning that admits it doesn't have a meaning.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like it literally means nothing.
No, it means something, but the meaning that it has admits that it means nothing. It's worse. It's like a Derrida joke. It means unique corporation.
That doesn't mean right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's different from it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, but it means something, which is that it means nothing.
Right, and they specify in the definition of unique corporation that they just chose that because it sounds nicer, essentially.
Yeah, it's a unique corporation. There's only one Unicore, and it's Unicore because it's Unicore.
Yeah.
That's so good. I love it. I now support Unicorn.
Good. Because it's so cool and unique.
Yeah.
Despite already earning 1/6
from Homer.
1/6 of the federal minimum wage, inmates with final obligations must contribute half of their earnings to cover those expenses. Unicore, in addition to other government-owned corporations and private prisons, makes millions upon millions of dollars using nearly free prison labor. Scroll down just a little bit, John.
Sorry, yeah, that was just...
No, it's fine. It's okay to feel bewildered by this situation.
Yeah.
Forced prison labor in the United States is nothing new, and in fact, it originates with the passing of the 13th Amendment. We talked about that in the last episode. This amendment reads, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction. So, going into the same thing, they basically made slavery legal within a certain context, and then they contextualize a whole lot of fucking people so that they could be slaves. Most of them being black, a lot of them being poor. We talked about it on the last episode. The best way to go to jail is to be poor, black, or poor and black. I need to do a little visit to the boys' room.
God damn it, Michael!
I'm gonna put the intermission screen up.
We have an intermission screen?
Yeah, dude. I got a whole thing going on over here. You guys don't even see the half of what I'm doing. But I'll be right back. It'll take me probably 15 minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Discuss amongst yourself how you feel about this so far.
To get myself a snack. Mike's the snack. He's the snacky boy.
the snackiest.
I can't keep doing this. I'm just. How far are we into this stupid bullshit we have to do every week?
Because whatever we talked about at the beginning of the episode,
I'm not. Yeah.
We're going into overtime probably.
I'm not doing overtime. I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna check out.
Yeah, I'm eating out, man. It's not gonna happen.
I
take an hour-long lunch too.
Yeah, I think we only have 25 minutes or whatever our agreed upon time was that I refuse to remember.
Yeah, we started a union and we don't have anything in documentation, but we somehow trust the HR lady to just go along with it. Yeah. Well, guess I gotta get drunker.
25 minutes. Do it.
So I can put up with fucking Mike and his friend, John the producer. I love how it's we'll never be able to tell when I finally can't handle this anymore and I leave, because I joke about it every week, you know, like a funny joke.
You know, follow your dreams.
I should let my dreams be dreams.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so right. I should just do it. That's all I got, man.
Are we talking about moving up the ritualistic mass suicide?
Yeah, I mean we should.
Not mass. I guess it's co-suicide. What's the word you call it?
Oh, is it just you and I? Is Mike part of this again or not? Or
yeah. Yeah, we promised if we ever got to 1,000 episodes that suicide pact. Yeah.
I mean, that's coming up. This is what I don't think you said the number this time, but this is 89?
87.
No. 87? Oh yeah, because 88 is the racist episode that we're planning for next week.
Next week
for Hitler's birthday.
To celebrate Hitler's birthday, yeah.
I remembered my own joke. I'm a funny fucking guy, you guys. You guys should pay me more for how funny I am. Yeah.
Sorry, important text message I had to reply to.
You had an important text message during the podcast.
Yeah, dude, people want to talk to me sometimes.
I guess that's cool. I'm just gonna.
So let's go ahead and hit up the next link now that we're all back. We're all in a good mood. We're all happy. We're all not suiciding ourselves. So of course, zoom in, please, John.
Your weak little baby eyes.
Shut up, man. I'm not like sitting in front of a 40-inch screen like you are or whatever. Go ahead and scroll up just a little bit to the table that's there. So this is items in a prison commissary versus their like regular local retail price. So you have up at the top VO5 shampoo, 12.5 ounce bottle. In Illinois, commissary could be, anywhere between $1.25 to $1.69. Local retail, 99 cents. Massachusetts, $1.38. Local retail, $1.29. Commissary in Washington, $1.71. No size specified. Local retail, $1.19. Amazon, $4.88. I don't know why they included that, because they don't have like a commissary equivalent there necessarily, but basically all of the well, not all, some of the prison items that you can buy in the commissary, and the commissary is where you will go to supplement things like they don't feed me enough, so I need more food, so I'm gonna buy some like ramen or something like that.
Yeah, these guys literally get a discount on ramen in Illinois. That's amazing.
They get a discount on ramen. A 9-cent discount on ramen in Illinois. But in Massachusetts, they get a 24-cent markup.
Yeah, well, it's Massachusetts, though. They're all rich, right?
Oh, I'm still on the intermission screen. Thanks to my girlfriend for letting me know.
Yeah. Well, no, in Massachusetts they get a 19-cent discount for ramen. In fact, everyone seems to get discounted ramen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, ramen is like the only discounted thing, I think.
No, actually, pretty much all of it is.
It varies back and forth between a couple of things.
Well, yeah, actually, the shampoo is more expensive in commissaries, which is funny.
Right.
But it seems like, yeah, most other things we're looking at. But even then, we're talking about people who are making wages of like 12 cents an hour. So
right, which is why we need to go down to the highlighted section. Some things
Mrs. Dash isn't available, and oh my god. Oh my god.
So some things are discounted, some things are a little bit more expensive. But what you have here is a captured market, essentially.
Yeah. In real wages, they're all extremely inflated.
And in real wages, like, these people can't afford this shit. But also, these companies can afford those kind of discounts where they do give them because they are selling to a market that has no other choice but to buy their product. So this article goes on to say the other thing to keep in mind,
because they're probably subsidized to some degree.
They're probably also subsidized to some degree, right? The other thing to keep in mind when comparing commissary prices to the free world is that people in prison have drastically less money to spend. So while $1.87 may sound like a fair price for a month's worth of dental floss, the transaction feels very different from the perspective of someone in a Massachusetts prison who earns 14 cents an hour and has to work over 13 hours to pay off that floss. Or to consider a different scenario, the average person in the Illinois prison system spends $80 a year on toiletries and hygiene products, an amount that could easily represent almost half of their annual wages. And this is for the people who are actually able to work in prison. Not everybody is able to work in prison, which we can go to the next link. I think should be some kind of information on that.
Right, and I will. Oh, actually, we're literally. Yeah, never mind. Right. This is what I was about to say.
So not everybody can work in prison, and so the way that you are able to afford things in the commissary is if somebody outside of prison transfers you money. You may be surprised to find out that the money transfer prison for inmates is incredibly predatory and has
$50 sometimes for like a single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, notable trends, and this is from prisonpolicy.org. Notable trends: fees for prison money transfers are really high. We live in an age of financial technology known as fintech, where people are accustomed to digitally sending or receiving money from friends and family at little or no cost. A service like Venmo allows no-fee personal transfers from bank accounts or debit cards. Payments from a credit card are subject to a 3% fee. Other companies providing similar services charge roughly equivalent fees. We looked at 33 state prison systems where fee information was available. That's notable, and that's why I highlighted it. There's only 33 state prison systems where fee information is available.
That's pretty cool.
So that means that there's not good at math, 17 state prison systems where fee information is not available. We found rates ranging from 5% to 37% for online transfer. The average fee is 19% for a $20 online transfer, with a slight decline for higher dollar transfers. The average fee for a $50 transfer is 12%. Fees for phone or in-person payments, options more likely to appeal to low-income people without a bank account, were generally higher than for online payments. There is no reasonable explanation for why prison money transfers are so much more expensive than regular free world services like Venmo.
The answer is the answer to all of these questions, which is because they can be. Because that's literally how a market functions.
Wow.
So here we have a map, and this map is fees for prison money transfers are unreasonably high. And so you have no data, which
ominous when you
very
have Texas involved in
predictably,
it.
yeah, very predictably includes states like Texas, New Mexico, Kentucky, Wisconsin. Looking at you again, Milwaukee.
Kentucky.
I don't know the northeastern states very well, but there's some
Massachusetts. Vermont. I didn't expect that. New Hampshire.
Why didn't you expect Vermont? Vermont is the fucking money haven.
No, that's Delaware.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
Vermont is the Bernie Sanders land of delicious maple syrup. And,
yeah, it's like upper middle class
bunnies.
retirees, and then like a rural population.
Yeah, Montana on there is really good. I love that.
Well, Montana only has like 7 people, and 4 of them are in prison. So
yeah, that's true. I love that I
There's
refuse to use Venmo's instant transfer thing because it costs like 1%. Like I'm willing to wait a few days to get money because of that 1%. But motherfuckers in Nevada are paying 30% to give their like dad money to eat ramen.
yeah, no, and that's exactly, and you know,
Really cool.
Nevada is covered as or colored as greater than 30%. So
Right, yeah.
Not a super exact map, but it gives an idea.
It should really say 30% or greater because the orange below that only goes up to 29.9. So
no, I agree.
This
real
really
oversight on prisonpolicy.org's behalf.
Yeah, you guys get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, we're doing far more important work, and we're doing it better.
So most states where data is available are 10 to 19.9% charges on money transfers. Some states are 20 to 29.9%, and then there's a couple of states which I will call out by name, which are greater than 30%, which is Nevada, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Kansas. Nope, not New York. New York's almost there. Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah.
So this is yet another way that prisoners are financialized is by they don't give you proper portions in prison. They give you some meager things to eat, and then
they're not going to give you something tasty like ramen. They're going to give you
right. They're going to give you prison slop, that might seem like an exaggeration, but they literally give you prison. Yeah, they literally give you prison slop.
It's prison brick or prison slop. Like
and then you're still hungry because you haven't been fed enough, and so you need to buy from the commissary, and the only way you can buy from the commissary is by working 50 hours for 25 cents an hour, or having your family send you money. And you might be in prison for something you didn't even do, as we've already discussed previously in this episode.
Imagine how painful it must be in prison to be on that shampoo only diet.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
where
like it's bad enough.
Way more for shampoo than you would normally pay.
Oof. Yeah. Rough.
Let's go ahead and go to the next link.
Yes, quickly.
Oh God.
Just allow it
yes
all.
Yeah. No.
I don't give a shit about your privacy, John. We're just gonna fucking do it.
Speaking of private prisons.
So zoom in on the highlighted portion I have there. Private prisons in the United States. Private prisons make a profit, an estimated $374 million annually. That's quite a bit of money. Honestly, I think they could do better if they were a little bit more predatory, but a couple of states have pushed back against like paying shit tons of money to house inmates. So right now, just being housed in a prison is part of a $374 million industry. That's profits alone, so we're not talking about like actual revenue numbers or anything like that. This is pure profits. And then let's go. Oh, sorry. This week, U.S. President Joe Biden signed an executive order instructing the Department of Justice to not renew contracts with privately operated prisons.
Well, Obama did that too, and how long did that last?
Yeah, a process that had once been started before during the Obama administration, but was reversed under President Donald Trump. Biden cited the inherent problem of private prisons having a commercial interest of keeping inmates incarcerated as a reason for his decision. There was a link I had for this, but I felt like it was just like too much at once. But basically, this Biden decision hasn't like actually done anything yet. It's just been like, hey, let's work towards not doing private prisons. And
that's his whole platform. It seems like is let's work towards doing the thing.
Let's work towards being better.
Work towards working towards. Yeah.
Well, because like how much, like, I get that there might be like legal minutia, but why would he even be talking about it if you didn't know the legal minutia? Is it something that the president can just fucking say, yeah, no more contracts when they expire under my administration? I'm guessing yes. So why not just do it?
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, that's what Obama did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, so I don't know what there is to work towards.
Well, he doesn't like signing papers that will make other people angry, which is a really good quality to have when you're working
which
in
is
politics.
Everything that you could ever possibly do, no matter what. So let's go on to the next linkaroo. We're almost through the prison stuff. I promise.
Core civic.
Did we? I feel like we missed a link somewhere.
Who cares? Keep going, John.
I care.
Click the next one.
Care.
Move on to the next one.
So this is the one.
Legalizing online gambling will put kids at risk. Take action. They'll steal your credit cards.
Sorry. Was it this one? No, it wasn't that one.
Nope. The number 8. Actually, we missed it a long time ago.
Hey, just close all of the tabs. What if you just closed all
of them? So.
Shit.
What are you doing?
We don't have to reorder it or anything, but I appreciate you trying to, anyways. So yeah. Oh, there we go. No.
Wait, where are we?
Stop clicking shit.
Yep. Jesus Christ. This boat has no rudder anymore.
Wait, what did you call us?
You're a boat.
Oh.
I'm using you to float right now. Nice. So this is prisonphonejustice.org, which highlights how predatory the prison phone industry is. This site deals with the issue of prison and jail phone calls, which typically cost much more than non-prison calls. Prison phone contracts are based on a commission-based model where phone service providers pay a commission kickback to the contracting government agency, such as a state prison system or county jail. As we all know, a lot of state prison systems are privately run, which also includes county jails. These kickbacks inflate the cost of prison and jail phone calls, which in the vast majority of cases are paid not by prisoners, but by their family members. This website includes detailed information on state-by-state prison phone rates and commission data, as well as reports, articles, and other resources related to prison phone services and the prison phone industry. Scroll down to the map, John, please. So you might...
what does the color scheme mean?
I will tell you the color scheme. You might erroneously think that a green state means that they're not paying very much to make a phone call. A green state on this map means that they're just not paying kickbacks to the prison industry for these phone calls. So go ahead and highlight Texas. We'll just highlight Texas because that's fun. A 15-minute phone call costs 90 cents. And then go over to California, the liberal hellhole that we all live in. California has no kickbacks, but a 15-minute phone call costs $1.23. You might note that that's quite a bit larger than Texas is. Hover over like a state like Arizona. Arizona's fun. 15-minute phone call costs $3 in Arizona. Go ahead and highlight over Louisiana because I'm calling out some certain people.
Holy shit.
$3.15 for a 15-minute phone call in Louisiana. And then maybe go to like a northeastern green state, you know. New York is actually New York is actually pretty okay. New Jersey's I mean all of these 15-minute phone calls are Maine $5.30 for a 15-minute phone call.
That rules, dude. That's so good.
And then
do you guys remember 1-800-COLLECT?
Yes.
Did you guys have to do collect calls when you were younger?
I never did collect calls because I knew my family would kill me.
Yeah, I was well, I don't know, like it would just depend. My dad would I guess like if I got lost or something as a kid, I would be allowed to, but I don't know, still get a stern talking to because it's
of course. Yeah. It's when for some reason the payphone won't accept that last quarter of yours.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I'm like 5 miles away from home. Yeah.
I forgot my change or whatever.
I
miss payphones. They suck.
Another figure that we need to look at, right? So Maine, we're already highlighted on Maine. Families pay $367,231,000 in kickbacks.
That's good.
Just for like, you know, phone calls made out of prison, probably to people being like, hey, are my kids okay? Are you taking care of the kids all right? Etc. sort of stuff. Let's go down to Arizona. Arizona is always a fun state. No. On the map. Yeah. 8,274,270,000 in kickbacks.
I think you're reading this.
Oh yeah, you know what? Big. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, that's 8 million.
Yeah, and I think
I got my numbers fucked up.
I think Maine, because of its low population.
Yeah, 327,000. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Or 367,000. Sorry.
Arizona sucks so fucking bad every time I've visited it, and just in general. But at this point in time, and maybe it's just a weird masochism thing, but it sucks so bad I almost want to live there. Does that make sense?
Just to feel how bad it hurts.
Yeah, because like
just to feel Arizona, anything.
All of my experiences of Arizona are exactly the same. Apart from driving through, but that doesn't really count. I wake up and it's a weird kind of hangover because everything is ice cold, but not the kind of ice cold you have in the Midwest. It's an ice cold that you only get when there's artificial air pumped into your lungs all night and you can't breathe and you're fucking miserable and you climb out of bed and the world just feels deeply unnatural and you think, oh fuck, okay, maybe if I just step outside, it'll feel normal again. And then you do, and it's so fucking oppressive and heavy and hot that you remember, oh, this is the balance. The balance is the miserable, suffocating cold versus the miserable, suffocating heat. Okay, that makes sense. And you begin to reconcile it. But by the time that you have this issue, my computer's freaking out.
No, you're fine now. You're back.
Am I fine? Because it's not fine on my computer. I don't know what's going on. All my screens are black, and there's a weird thing. Anyway, yeah, and then you realize after you're like, okay, technology and nature are trying to work themselves out. There's a balance here. You realize that every police officer, even if you're a white guy, wants to arrest you, and that you're living in a weird oppressive hellscape. And that everyone is okay with it because they all think that they're cowboys who are friends of the cops. And you think, oh, fuck, okay, well, how do I escape from this? And you think, I'm going to go to a bar or a restaurant. And all the bars and restaurants are the same. They're all made of fabricated everything. They're air conditioner in restaurant form. And you get an overpriced, really shitty burger, and you drink a beer that tastes like nothing, and then you wake up again in a cold sweat, and that's what living in Arizona is like.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
something
accurate.
about that's kind of nice, you know.
Embrace the cold void.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
my computer's fucked. I gotta like restart and come back. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
You can come back. I guess I took a restroom break. You can take a restarting your computer break. He froze as he said "fuck you." So those are either his last words or words that he'll learn to eat, because I'm gonna fucking get on him and stuff.
I think it's all the rat shit in his drop ceiling.
Yeah, it's the asbestos clogged up his computer fans, and then also his brain. We've actually had like a lively chat happening, which we should address. So I'll do that because we're missing Dorian, and he doesn't matter anyways. Sorry for all of our frames being fucked up at the bottom. That'll be fixed once Dorian comes back. Bunch of people told me that the intermission screen was still on because I forgot to turn it off. You're right. Robert Kelly says, please wait. Jessica, message retracted. Madison, nice flex. I assume she's talking about when I said I have a girlfriend. Dorian and John traded places. Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
Now we're split.
Yeah, now we're all fucked up.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, Robert Kelly also said, sounds like some girl boss branding. We've got the most progressive private prison, everybody. Haha. Yeah. That's what Unicore is. Just like weirdo, like using the metrics to be like, look, we have 9% reduction in recidivism. That's something that something like 9%. And it's so like, well, yeah, because you train people to like be mechanics, sure, but you also use them as slaves for the entire time that they were in prison.
Yeah, no, it's like Krispy Kreme at least had the decency to fucking hide away the fact that they use slave labor in World War II, but they're just branding themselves as like, like basically like, like we made the Japanese work for free.
Right. Yeah.
And draft dodgers
cool
or
moves
whatever.
From cool guys.
Did you guys continue on without me?
We addressed the chat without you. We did not continue on without you.
I wish you fucking would.
No such luck, friendo.
All right.
Well. Next link, John, please.
What did the chat say? Anything funny? Anything clever? They're always really clever, funny, delightful people that I like a lot.
They said some of the most amazing comments that have ever been spoken on the internet, but you weren't here for it, so you'll have to look back later.
Yeah, you'll have to watch yourself again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite thing, actually. I love listening to old recordings and videos of myself.
So this is from a website called capitalweekly.net.
But it's capital with an O. It is capital with an O.
It is, yes.
Keep that in mind.
Capitalweekly.net.
It's like a building or a location, not the thing that they're going to be talking about.
Right. So let's zoom in on the article here. Private prison firms make big money in California. In January 2020, Californians thought they were getting out of the private prison business. They are, but under a new law, AB 32, which went into effect at the first of that year, the state remains heavily invested in backing for-profit correctional services, including facilities that resemble detention centers run by the same companies who operate private prisons. So basically, California tried to pass a bill, and we're going to talk about California for a bit because California has a really awesome slave labor program. On top of a for-profit prison industry that has been now like hidden behind like alternative services essentially. So after AB 32's passage, and even before it went into effect, the state voided existing contracts with the operators of private prisons, agreements worth more than $300 million annually in public money, and barred new contracts and renewals. This is good, of course. But while for-profit prisons were abolished, the new statute contained exemptions that allowed private prison companies to focus on other lucrative community corrections programs, including day reporting centers, counseling facilities, halfway houses, rehabilitation centers, medical offices, and mental health facilities. These exemptions are currently worth about $200 million annually. So basically the for-profit prison system went like, okay, yeah, you guys have caught us being bad. Instead of making $300 million annually, we'll make $200 million annually. And now nobody is ever going to fucking talk about this shit ever again. When it was voted on, Californians were told one thing, and then by the time it actually made it through the state legislature, there were so many things tacked on to it and so many amendments made to it that like it basically nullified the vote to end for-profit prison and just transmuted it into a different service essentially. Go ahead and go to the next link. So this is an article about California's firefighting system, which relies heavily on slave labor from prisoners. And this is an article from The Atlantic, which has some mixed reviews here and there, but this is a good article overall. And go ahead and scroll to the top real quick so we can get the headline.
Oops, there we go.
Incarcerated firefighters?
Those risking their life on the front lines of the state's wildfires earn a fraction of minimum wage. Go ahead and go down to the section I highlighted.
There it is.
But it's not enough. Formerly incarcerated firefighters put themselves at risk to save a state in peril. The fire camp program began in 1946, and California continues to rely on more than 1,000 inmates who are paid $2 to $5 a day in a camp, and an additional $1 to $2 an hour when they're on a fire line. The program saves California taxpayers about $100 million a year, according to the Corrections Department. AB 2147, and this is the bill that allowed prison inmate firefighters to receive essentially a certification for wildfire fighting so that they could be hired in the real world as wildfire firefighters. AB 2147 does nothing to reform or recognize the inherent flaws of forcing incarcerated people to risk their life while contending with California's climate crisis. Go ahead and go to the next link, because last week, and Dorian, if you want to say something, go ahead.
No, it was something stupid, but I'm going to say it anyway. No, but just imagine, even with your comparatively higher wages working on the fire line, let's say optimistically you do get that $2 rather than the $1. That means that you get to buy a bottle of shampoo every day.
Right.
Like, that's the amount of money that you make inside of that, like the prison market, which would be akin to you making what, like, I don't know, $5 a day.
Well,
like in the real world. The real world.
But aren't these inmates living a possibly even more remote life? Like, what are these fire camps like? Is that just a status that they're in, or do they have to actually like live?
No, there is a camp.
They actually live in camps on the front lines of wildfires. It's pretty fucking grim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty funny. And yeah, actually with that remoteness, I'm sure there are in fact like price increases and shit as well. But
sure.
just to say, like, you know, adjusting for all this stuff and yeah, it's really cool. Or imagine working all day and realizing you can afford 7 packs of ramen.
Ooh. Yay.
You know, like that's what this shit comes out to. It's that's amazing.
It sucks.
Or 6.5 maybe. Yeah. So that's really cool.
They're the slightly more well-fed slaves.
Yeah. I mean, it's when you actually start applying math to this stuff, like it seems horrifying and awful to begin with, but then it gets so much worse. Like the longer you think about it,
it's grotesque. And you know, last week we talked about mandatory minimum sentences and how Joe Biden played such a huge role in that. And
well, wearing a mullet somehow. How do you do that?
Right?
Sorry, go on.
Sign of the times, I guess. I don't know. But now we need to talk about his vice president, who sucks, and his name Kamala Harris. And
thank you. I forgot I was here again.
John, go back to the last link. We haven't discussed that yet.
Oh, I thought that was a cue.
Yeah, it sounded like a cue to me.
So this article is titled Kamala Harris and her you scrolled down too soon, and her connection to inmate firefighters. Go ahead and go down to the article body now. As California Attorney General, Kamala Harris led a team that fought to keep more people in prison so that they could fight wildfires. It began when federal courts ruled that California prisons were overcrowded. Staff attorneys in Harris's office said releasing low-level offenders more quickly would deplete a workforce that California relies on to suppress wildfires. Harris later reversed that position, saying her staff attorneys had made the argument without her knowledge. Yeah, let's believe that, I guess. Now, in her bid for
it's so much worse if we believe it, frankly.
Right?
Because,
that she was running
the whole Democrat Party, but
that she was running an organization that was just like making these kind of decisions without her somehow.
Just like such a loose ship. But again, that is kind of the problem with the Democrats, in the sense that they're willing to trust that people's competence will serve kind of on its own, and that their ethics and their competence, instead of thinking, how about we perform some kind of like unified gesture?
Sure. I agree with that. Now, in her bid for the White House, Harris, a Democratic senator, has pitched a different approach for the country. She endorses mobilizing a massive response to climate change through the Green New Deal, especially for fighting bigger, more dangerous fires brought up by rising temperatures. So this article goes on to basically say that Kamala Harris has kind of had like a I'm going to have my cake and eat it too sort of approach to everything, where you know, she will gladly endorse. And again, I don't believe that her office made these kind of arguments without her knowledge. based off of, other decisions that she's made in her career. She's basically had this approach of like, yeah, I'm going to imprison people or keep them in prison so that they can fight wildfires. But also we should, do something about this climate change thing. Those aren't mutually exclusive positions, and they're pretty in line with her politics. Go ahead and go to the next link. And this is a funny article where basically this is Kamala Harris saying that she was shocked to find out that her own office was advocating for keeping people in prison, so that we could have more wildfire firefighters within the prison system. It's from BuzzFeed, but it's still like a legitimate article.
I mean, BuzzFeed, it's hilarious. Comes out with like good shit occasionally. At this point,
right.
It's really bizarre.
No, and anytime I link something that comes from a dubious web source, I like double and triple check it and stuff like that. But California AG, this is back before she was a senator. California AG shocked to learn her office wanted to keep eligible parolees in jail to work. And this is specifically about the firefighting business. Go ahead and go to the next link.
Oh,
X on the left.
There it is.
This is an article I highly suggest everybody look up if they want like a more in-depth look of Kamala Harris's like involvement in the California prison system, and it's from prospect.org, and the headline is How Kamala Harris Fought to Keep Nonviolent Prisoners Locked Up. They don't use violent prisoners for the firefighting force because violent prisoners are unreliable and may do violence again.
Well, the real reason that they don't put firefighter or violent prisoners on the firefighting force is that what if they learn how to control fire?
Right. Yes. Became firebenders or something. I don't
bad
know.
News. There's a remake of Firestarter coming out.
Yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend if you want to like really look into Kamala Harris's pretty bleak history and why I thought she was just like an abominable choice for a vice president. This is a really good article to start with. And again, it's from prospect.org, How Kamala Harris Fought to Keep Nonviolent Prisoners Locked Up. And it's essentially because she knew that she could utilize them. What are you laughing about?
I'm sorry. I started thinking about, all the people that Biden chooses for these roles for political reasons,
right?
And just the array of Black women that he's choosing. And I love the idea that he has a staffer that's sitting with him and just saying like, so who should we pick for our next Supreme Court pick? And Biden is just like dementiaed out, and he's sundowning, and he's confused, and he just looks over at this like poor fucking lanyard dipshit, and he says, those Black ladies are real caked up. And then and he just said, okay, Black woman would be a great idea. I think that would look really, really good on us and the administration. And then Biden just keeps mumbling something about jungle fever and then like crawls into the closet. It's just, I'm somehow convinced that that's actually what's happening.
So that was kind of all I had planned for the
thank God,
prisoner financialization portion.
Oh no, there's more.
There is more. There's two more links.
There's a third act.
Yeah, we have to have the mouthwash to get this bad taste out, right?
Yeah, we hit the climax with Kamala, and now we're on our way to the resolution. Please. I seriously thought I did it right that time. As as I was saying her name, however you're supposed to say it,
I'm just gonna spam you with that Randy Rainbow song.
I have lost my cred at not knowing how to say her name because I just said it right, and people are gonna like clip that.
No.
And apparently, if that's not right, then I don't know.
Nope, you're still fucked up, son.
I don't know what you want.
So we talk often on this podcast about how certain identity markers don't necessarily mean that you're like a representative of that identity, right?
Yes.
We're not ID politicians, identity politicians, essentially, right?
Yeah, standpoint epistemology is generally pretty dumb.
Right. So what if we had like I don't know, a video of somebody like Caitlyn Jenner basically selling out her own demographic?
Well, that's every video of Caitlyn Jenner, to be fair.
No, you're right.
That's just what she does.
But this one is interesting, I think.
Remember when she was really brave?
That's something that I'd like to get into at some point. Is I took a bunch of knocks, I would say. Back before I even started the podcast, because Caitlyn Jenner transitioned way before I started the podcast.
Oh God, when did that happen? 2014?
Yeah, 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. Yeah, I think I would say 2014 to 2016 is when that happened.
Yeah.
I took a bunch of fucking knocks because I said, this is not a brave person. This is an incredibly rich person who has all the funds necessary to do like a transition in the most like publicly acceptable way where nobody like has to ever fucking like question her transition or anything like that.
Pattern recognition was a mistake.
Right. Took a shit ton of knocks on her, and I never like once misgendered her or anything like that. If Caitlyn Jenner wants to be a woman, Caitlyn Jenner can be a woman. I don't care.
That's dope and cool. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the only like dope and cool thing that Caitlyn Jenner's ever done, apart from running fast.
Right. And the criticism I always had of her is that this is an incredibly rich person who also, was very explicit about how trans people need to be passing and stuff like that. And it's like, trans people being passing is like kind of a money issue in a lot of respects.
And it's also like not all trans people want to like pass in the same way.
And that's the other problem is the trans identity doesn't necessarily fit into the binary structure to begin with.
Exactly. Like that's the trap that like people fall into all the time here. And again, like I'm not innocent in any way, shape, or form with this, but yeah, just the tendency to take like all of these different forms of like orientation and identity and things like that, and then reduce them back into the same like really fucking dumb binaries that we have. Like every gender neutral person that I know is trapped between like, yeah, but are you more of a boy or more of a girl?
Right.
And why aren't you like why don't you look like William Blake's Angels? Like why do you have genitals?
You got giant titties and a large dick or what?
Yeah. Shouldn't you be like bald and look like a Ken doll or like anyway.
But yeah, I've always thought that Caitlyn Jenner is a really bad example of trans people, and
she sucks. She's just a bad example of a person. That's the thing,
right? Yeah, no, that's what I was going to lead into. A bad example of a person, and let's have a couple of minutes of her just lying.
Or non-binary. Caitlyn Jenner joins me now. Caitlyn, first of all, you're now a Fox News contributor. I want to welcome you to the Fox family and Fox Business in particular. Welcome aboard. Great to see you.
Pause it really quick before this starts.
Well,
both of these people are people in makeup on SNL. Like,
yes,
and I'm saying like genuinely both of them. They're both cartoon characters. This is
absolutely.
She practiced that introduction, like that face she was holding. She practiced that in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I mean, he obviously does it every time. Like,
it's the only way he can get off anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all awful. I love life is performance. Life should be performance. Everything should be fake. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the Antichrist.
See, but like, at least he looks like he could be like Bilbo Baggins, kind of more asshole-ish older cousin or something.
Yeah, at least he has like third breakfast or whatever. But yeah,
kind of whimsical.
What's the accent that doesn't grab?
Stuart Varney.
Right.
Play it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Stuart. It's a pleasure to be on your show. Looking forward to the future. Fox News is a great platform, and hopefully use that, because we have to make some changes in this country right now.
Yes, sir.
And I hope to be part of it.
Do you think Palm Springs is doing the right thing, just giving money?
Wait, I'm gonna go back real quick.
Do you think Palm Springs is doing the right thing?
You got to go back further than that.
Fox News is a great platform, and hopefully use that, because we have to make some changes in this country right now.
Yes, sir.
And I hope to be.
Did he say yes, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we'll go through the comments in the sec. But yeah, keep playing this, because it's
part of it.
Yeah, it's funny how somebody like Caitlyn Jenner will sell out their like entire like identity to people like Stuart Varney and Fox News and all the people who watch Fox News. And then when we look through the comments, you're going to see some pretty interesting things about how they feel about someone like Caitlyn Jenner being platformed on Fox News.
Right. Yeah, literally, like, Varney is sitting there the whole time. The reason he smiled like that was because the whole time he's sitting there thinking, oh, it's so excellent that we have a tranny on.
That's exactly what it is. He's gleefully as the white cishet male, basically saying, we found the Uncle Tom that we need. Thank God.
Exactly. It's very cool. I like it. It's great. I love the integration.
Do you think Palm Springs is doing the right thing, just giving money to trans people?
No, there are unemployment signs all over this state. Help wanted signs. You can get a job. It's, again, another program, especially out here by the radical left out here in California, to get people not to work.
Sorry, pause it one more time.
The trans community.
What the fuck does she mean, unemployment sign? That doesn't mean anything, right?
This is a person who has never worked in their life.
Exactly.
And so they don't know like how the job market works. The other thing that she's obviously lying about is, yes, there are lots of help wanted signs around. Let me tell you about trans employment statistics. People will willfully choose to not hire trans people. So it doesn't matter how many help wanted signs you have. If you apply for a job at old curmudgeon-y guy business on Main Street, old curmudgeon-y guy business will not fucking hire you regardless of whether or not he needs help, because he'd be like, oh, you're trans, you're weird, I don't like you, I'm not going to hire you. Having an employment sign on your front door doesn't mean that you're going to hire everybody that walks in. Anybody should be able to understand that, because, like, let's say I'm in the tiling business. I do tiling for a business. Somebody walks in and I'm like, oh, what's your tiling experience? And I'm like, what's tiling? I'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to hire you. Having a help wanted sign doesn't mean that you're just willing to hire anybody who walks in off the street. That's not how it fucking works. There are trades, there are other things, there are mitigating factors. There is the very real fact that trans people are like underhired compared to every other demographic.
Yeah. But the worst part of all of this is that we fell into the trap, right? Which is that,
for sure. Which
these
is
are totally unrelated concepts,
right?
And the fact that the government would want to, assist with something like gender affirmation of some sort has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not Taco Bell is hiring.
Well,
These
no,
are totally unrelated
this
concept.
Palm Springs program is actually like a UBI initiative, essentially from some nonprofits in the area.
Okay, but if you don't have brain damage, then these are still unrelated.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Right. I just wanted to clarify that
UBI.
Yeah.
No, I do appreciate that. But like UBI also doesn't actually have much impact on things like employment metrics in the end. I mean, it does, but it's kind of negligible or like debatable at the very least. Anyway.
Continue playing, John, please.
Oh, yes.
Is really being used right here. The non-binary community is really being used right here. There's only $200,000 in this program, and they're going to get $900 a month. It just shows you how small the trans and non-binary community is in Palm Springs, and I love Palm Springs. Actually, and it's unfortunate. The entire state is that way. This will be opened up for scams. I can see somebody, how are they going to prove these things?
Yeah.
Walk into the office with a dress on. Oh, I'm transgendered. You got to give me my $900, or I'm non-binary. Give me my $900. Even the mayor, Lisa Middleton, and she is trans, is not in favor of this program. So it's just another California scam. And it used by the radical left, and it's unfortunate.
Did Florida do the right thing, banning the teaching of gender identity to very young children?
Absolutely. I'm a big supporter of Ron DeSantis and what he's doing. I'm a parent. I have a very large family, raised a very large family, a lot of grandkids. And I have been in control of my children's destiny and what they're going to learn in school. Not some math teacher teaching my kids about gender identity.
With me as a parent. It's just, it never happened. That's cool. That's really awesome.
One of the most awesome like right-wing talking points right now is that your math teacher isn't teaching math to your children. It's actually teaching, or your math teacher is
how to suck cock.
Yeah, your math teacher is actually teaching gender conformity or something. You know,
this this is not a palate cleanser, Mike.
Oh yeah, no, I got those terms mixed up. I meant cleanser of the no, I didn't have a palate cleanser. I'm sorry. But we have some fun videos to look at.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, man. I'm a sadist.
This over.
You're all masochists. This is the relationship we have. Keep playing it, John.
I can teach those lessons. So yes, I am in support of Ron DeSantis and what he has done there. I'm disappointed in the backlash that he's gotten, especially from Disney. This is a legislation that supports parents, and the parents are the ones that are paying Disney to go to Disneyland.
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate to see them react to it this way.
Okay. A couple of days ago.
Well, and I mean, who would sew all those costumes together?
Probably not anybody from the LGBTQ community.
Never. I don't think I've ever met.
No weirdos who are like, I like fashion or anything like that.
Yeah. Would do all the makeup for their productions and stuff.
So I actually have a second Stuart Varney clip. We don't have to watch this anymore.
Hell yeah.
We can all just agree that Caitlyn Jenner is a traitor to whatever could be considered ID politics for her.
Yeah. Next
she
clip.
sucks.
She's
always sucked. She's not brave. She had the money to do a transition in the most publicly available way ever, and everyone like championed her without like ever looking into who she was as a person, and that sucks.
John McCain's cancer didn't make him cool. He's dead.
Right. And what I always said at the time was like, The average like poor person who is going through a transition and is like having trouble finding employment is way more brave than someone like Caitlyn Jenner, who has all the opportunities in the world because she just has massive amounts of wealth available to her, and that creates opportunity because people like money. She never had to be brave.
Look, just poor people are cool and rich people aren't.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you probably want to just get through this.
Yeah, it's only after midnight here watching Stuart Varney videos.
so yeah, we have one last Stuart Varney video. Let's try to play it all the way through without interrupting, and then we can comment.
Amazon workers in New York and in Alabama voted on unionization. Was it the same result in both places, Lauren?
No, split decision. So let's start in New York. They're still counting the votes there and validating them, but so far, it seems that they voted in favor of unionization. That would be a first for Amazon in the U.S. If you go down to Alabama, they voted for no unionization, although I want to point out the results were close. There will be a hearing. So there's been this push, especially in these big companies like Amazon and Starbucks for workers to unionize. Why is this happening? They're paid well. It's happening because of three things. This is my opinion, Stuart. You have a very tight job market. So you have vocal employees. They couldn't work from home when a lot of other people did. They worked through COVID. They just want more. And there's a lot of anger out there. And I'm going to give you one number that might explain that part of the...
Did she just call them greedy?
You got to make it through the clip, John.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Make it through the clip.
There's so many things there. It's just,
Yeah. We'll talk about it after.
Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, his total compensation last year topped $212 million. So if you compare that pay to the average worker, it's 1 to 6,500. So there's a lot of anger that, hey, we're doing everything for your company and we just want more. We want a bigger piece of the pie. We want more representation.
It's not anger, Lauren. It's jealousy.
What is it?
Jealousy.
And
that's what it is. I've seen it before. I grew up in a jealous country, England, always worried about how much they're making up there and how much we're not making down here. That's what you get in a socialist society.
So then you wouldn't want to unionize. You would want, to make everything possible for you to work hard and get to where you want to be and not have a union get in the way.
That's not the way they see it, obviously. But there you go.
He's literally imagining like the miners' strikes when he's calling Britain like a jealous or greedy or whatever the fuck.
And then the reasoning of if you really wanted to make more money, what you would do is not have unions so that you could work harder and then what make more money.
What the fuck are you talking about, lady?
Yeah, neither of them know what the fuck they're talking about.
Mike, so something happened before I moved away from California, and frankly, it was the reason I did.
Okay.
And we had a pizza party, right? And each slice of pizza had, about 8 slices, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I just wanted my fair share, right? And so, hold on, just doing the math here really quick. So we had like 85 pizzas, right?
Yeah.
And I gave you a slice.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you weren't very grateful then because I saw you when you thought I wasn't looking, trying to get a second slice.
I wish this was a real story.
Yeah, because I would never allow you to get a second slice. I'd shoot you. But I just
the gun you always carry.
It's true. It's true. I just think that kind of greed really it didn't shine well on you, and so that's why I'm here, because
it's why I'll never make 85 pizzas per hour.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I know that you and your friends wanted to get together to like try to essentially bully me out of my entirely necessary and well-earned pizza.
Right.
But really, I think that you'd have better luck getting, I don't know, 10 or 12 slices if you just, do it on your own, like a man.
Yeah, no effort to collectivize how many pizzas we get or anything like that.
We have an open door pizza policy here because we're family. So
well,
that's cool. That's really good.
That's the episode, and if you're a member of this podcast and dissatisfied with the palate cleansers I've chosen, I would like to remind you that you are freely available to submit links to the podcast, and you guys look at more funny stuff than I do, I think, because I only look at bad things, and I hate existence.
I think this is why I need the palate cleansers, because I spent all day looking at the sad stuff anyway.
John, it's your job as the producer
to find us funny frog videos.
Yeah. It's like one funny frog video a week. Like, is that asking a lot? Probably not.
I mean, it's the first time you're asking.
But if I deliver this ask in like a hostile way, like maybe it'll motivate you to be better.
We can just show my favorite funny frog video every time.
Yeah, it's the one where the little kid cries.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
It's really good. It's very funny.
Cool. Well, Dorian, before we go, would you like to fucking hawk your shit?
Yeah, patreon.com/Truncata, TRUNCATA. We're continuing our fascism adventure tomorrow. So that'll be a good time. We're reading The Vortices now. It's a joyous time, and no one is a fascist yet. And when we find who you are among our group, we will have to kill you, but we'll do it in a funny way. So yeah, we're playing Secret Hitler or whatever. Otherwise, just did an episode on the Pondering Cast or the Pondering Podcast. Frankly, I forget which it is, but if you follow OK Schizo on Instagram, you can find all the details there. I said a lot of really unhinged, bizarre stuff about Matter having information built into it and the things about blockchain. So go have fun, watch that. It's a whole fucking and a bunch of stuff about like coming and dying, but so the usual there. And I got some more stuff coming up, but I'll wait for that to occur. I love you. That's it.
Cool. John, do you have anything? No, that's cool.
No, I all I have to say about Dorian's pitch is that out of context, it could sound like you're pitching a workshop for like racist incels, maybe.
Yeah, no, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually became a fascist through the 1 week that we've done on fascism.
It's true. I told them, hey, we need to read through these things, and we can't just constantly be, pointing out the obvious bad in it. And
I disagree with this.
Be sneaky about it.
Yeah.
I just need to. It's me trying to turn everyone into literally Hitler.
Right. And I'm actually now Hitler. I'm gonna shave off like a bunch of this later tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna look really good.
On my end of things, the Benzo Rehab Dungeon is and will always be a free broadcast. If you would like to support the creation of this broadcast, you can go to patreon.com/Benzo Rehab Dungeon. Donate whatever you like or don't want to. Doesn't mean anything to me. Won't get you anything special, but it will go towards making this a better publication. As always, we love you. Please take your medicine.
Like and subscribe, and then take mine too.
And save some for your friends.
I don't like that like and subscribe stunt you did, honestly.
Yeah. Save some for your friends and share.
I'm actually just trying to run up the.
I don't know.
You're a fucking idiot.
It's bad.
Can't do this anymore.
Shit.
I'm getting mozzarella sticks.
All right, man.
At least I'm not a phony man.
Oh.
Bye.
All right. I love you guys.